Friends, welcome back to second part of 16th week. Let us look at the first question. From Tamil New Year Day on 14th April, e-tourist visa or ETV scheme was started for the citizens of Sri Lanka. Recently, Prime Minister during his visit to Sri Lanka announced that from the Tamil New Year Day, he is going to introduce e-tourist visa. What is e-tourist visa? E-tourist visa is nothing but when someone uploads a passport, photograph, then online payment is to be done. Subsequently, your visa will be sent online. You need not go to any embassy and all to get your visa, and this is only given for tourists who want to visit our country. This is only for tourists who want to visit our country, and this facility was given to several countries now. Right? That means getting visa online is e-tourist visa. This is extended to several countries, and recently Sri Lanka was also given this benefit based on the announcement of our Prime Minister during his visit to Sri Lanka. Looking to the next one. Surface-to-surface missile Agni-3 was recently tested for a range of 1500 kilometers by DRDO from Wheeler Island off the Odisha coast. This surface-to-surface missile. What is surface-to-surface missile? Surface-to-surface missile is it takes off from ground and hits the target at ground. So this is surface-to-surface missile, and this Agni-3 range is more than 3000 kilometers. This Agni-3 recently test fired for 1500 kilometers range by DRDO from Wheeler Island, but the actual range of this Agni-3 missile is more than 3000 kilometers. Right? Please look into the next issue. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft recently sent back the first color image of the dwarf planet Pluto and its largest moon. The answer here is Charon. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft. This New Horizons spacecraft sent by NASA. NASA is the space agency of United States of America. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft will look into the several aspects pertaining to Pluto as well as its moons. Pluto is not a planet now. It is a dwarf planet in the solar system, Sun, and we have 8 planets. In addition to 8 planets, we have dwarf planets. Dwarf planet means it is neither a planet nor a satellite, and several comets, asteroids, this is all part of the solar system. And this Pluto and its moons, to investigate various aspects pertaining to Pluto and its moons, NASA sent a New Horizons spacecraft. When someone asks you about a New Horizons spacecraft, please don't forget it is sent by NASA and basically to investigate the atmosphere and other conditions with regard to Pluto and its moons. Here the answer here is Charon. Right? Look into the next one. 2015 marks the 150th anniversary of children's books Alice in Wonderland. Most of you are familiar with this series of books, Alice in Wonderland, and the author of this series is famous British writer Lewis Carroll. Famous British writer Lewis Carroll is the author of this series, and you are all familiar with Alice in Wonderland books. And look at these cover pages. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland, and the author of this series is Lewis Carroll, famous British writer. Look into the next one. Surya Bahadur Thapa, who died recently, was the 5-time Prime Minister of Nepal. Recently, Surya Bahadur Thapa expired and he was 5-time Prime Minister of Nepal. Please don't forget. Look into the next one. Rajya Sabha Chairman set up a 3-member committee. Rajya Sabha Chairman is none other than Vice President Hamid Ansari. Recently, he set up a 3-member panel to investigate sexual harassment charges against S.K. Ganguly, and he is the sitting judge of Madhya Pradesh High Court. Recently, a panel was formed by Rajya Sabha Chairman Hamid Ansari to investigate sexual harassment charges against S.K. Ganguly. He is the sitting judge of Madhya Pradesh High Court. Look into the next one. Name the former New Zealand cricket captain who visited India in the capacity of Ambassador for Education New Zealand. Previously, he was New Zealand captain. Now, his role is Ambassador for Education New Zealand. In his capacity to promote education in New Zealand and to tell about the opportunities for education available in New Zealand, recently he visited India and his name is Stephen Fleming. Right, look into the next one. Spacecraft Messenger. This Messenger, full form you can read here. Messenger was launched by NASA, American Space Agency. It is orbiting around Mercury for the past 4 years, examining various features pertaining to Mercury, and now it is going to crash into the solar system's Mercury planet because it exhausted its fuel and it is going to crash into Mercury. And for the past 4 years, it is orbiting around Mercury, and this spacecraft Messenger was launched by NASA. Right? Next. As per the TROI report, TROI is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. India's position as far as fixed broadband penetration is 125th rank in the world. As per the TROI report, India's rank in the penetration of fixed broadband is 125th. It seems that a lot more needs to be done by the telecom companies to have more penetration of broadband in the country. And please don't forget, mobile broadband penetration, India's position is 113th. In the fixed broadband penetration, India's position is 125th, and in the mobile broadband penetration, India's position is 113th. Please don't forget. NBN Project aims at connecting lakh village panchayats with broadband by 2016. NBN means National Optic Fiber Network. National Optic Fiber Network. The main aim or purpose of this project is to connect 2.5 lakh village panchayats with optic fiber so that the broadband can be given to hook and nook of the country. The goal is to provide broadband connectivity to 2.5 lakh village panchayats across the country, and to complete this task, a special purpose vehicle was also created. The name is Bharat Broadband Network Limited. Bharat Broadband Network Limited was created to ensure this purpose, was created to achieve this goal, but the progress is very slow. Please look into the next one. Name the telecom service provider which made outgoing calls free from landline phones from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. From 9 in the night to 7 in the morning, that means for 10 hours duration, all the outgoing calls will be made free, and the telecom service provider which offered this facility from May 1 is the BSNL, because in recent times it is losing fixed line connections, and so as to ensure more fixed line connections, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited recently announced that all the calls made from fixed landline phones to any network from 9 p.m. to morning 7 a.m. will be free, and this will be reviewed after 6 months as stated by BSNL. Look into the next one. Name the country whose population fell to 15-year low to stand at 127 million by the end of 2014. This is none other than Japan. The population now stood at 127 million or 12.7 crores or roughly 12.5 crores, and unfortunate aspect is population is not growing, it is shrinking, because during the past 15 years if you look at it, the population is the lowest. This is the problem with the developed countries. The problem with the developing countries and underdeveloped countries is population growth, right? The same problem is faced by several countries. High percentage of grey population, less percentage of working population. The same story when you look at Japan or Germany or France, right? Look into the next one. Which of the following is suspended by its world body recently? Recently, International Paralympic Committee suspended Paralympic Committee of India because of some irregularities. What is Paralympic? Paralympics are nothing but the games conducted among the people with some disabilities. Maybe physically handicapped, mentally handicapped. For these type of people, games are being held. These are known as Paralympics. International Paralympic Committee recently suspended the operations of Paralympic Committee of India because of some irregularities. Right, friends, look into the next one. During the three-nation tour, the Prime Minister of India visited Komagatamaru Museum. Recently, Prime Minister visited Komagatamaru Museum. This is situated in Vancouver in Canada. Along with the Prime Minister of Canada, he visited Komagatamaru Museum. What is so special about Komagatamaru? Komagatamaru incident took place in the year 1914, 101 years ago, when the persons from India were not allowed to enter Canada, and several persons died in this incident. A ship by name Komagatamaru sailed by taking several Indians, mostly Sikhs from Punjab, and they were not allowed to enter Canada, and subsequently around 20 of them were shot dead. And recently Punjab Assembly passed a resolution asking for apology from Canadian government, but this incident took place 101 years ago. Please don't forget, Komagatamaru incident occurred in 1914 when several persons from Indian origin were not allowed to enter Canada, basically racial discrimination, and subsequently some of them died. Right, friends, look into the next one. SpaceX's unmanned Dragon cargo ship. SpaceX unmanned Dragon cargo ship delivered food packets to ISS. What is ISS? International Space Station. International Space Station will be in the low orbit of the Earth, and several experiments are being conducted from International Space Station, and recently food packets were sent to International Space Station. Right? Look into the next one. Ibrahim alDouri, Sunni insurgency leader, died recently. He belongs to Iraq. He is considered to be close to the departed leader Saddam Hussein, and recently he died, and he belongs to Iraq. Look into the next one. Name the neighboring country where Sholay is released. after a gap of 40 years, Sholay was released in the year 1975 in India, starring Dharmendra and Amitabh Bachchan, along with Hema Malini and Jaya Badhuri, and adventure film. And now it is released in Pakistan after a gap of 40 years. The answer here is Pakistan. Look into the next one. National Green Tribunal. It is the regulatory body with regard to the environmental issues. Recently asked reply from a state government with regard to the alleged violation of environmental and wetland laws. With regard to the alleged violation of environmental and wetland laws in connection with the 182 meter tall Vallabhbhai Patel statue. You all very well know Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel statue, 182 meters high, considered to be the tallest in the world, is going to come up in Gujarat. But there are allegations that environmental laws and wetland laws are violated. And in this connection, National Green Tribunal asked reply from the concerned state government, and the state government in question here is Gujarat. In Gujarat, 182 meter high statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the first Home Minister of the country, is going to come up, and the state here is Gujarat. Look into the next one. 33 people were killed when a suicide bomb exploded outside a bank in the eastern part of Afghanistan. There is no end to violence in Afghanistan. Most of the armed forces from NATO left the country. Now Afghanistan has to save themselves, and these incidents are taking place. Recently, a suicide bomb exploded outside a bank in the eastern part of Afghanistan. Please remember, Afghanistan president is going to visit India during the last week of April. Look into the next one. Nazim Zaidi took over as the 20th Chief Election Commissioner of India from Harishankar Brahma. He took over as 20th Chief Election Commissioner of India. Election Commission is the constitutional body. As per the constitutional provisions, it was started in the year 1950 on January 25, the date of establishment of Election Commission. We celebrate it as National Voters' Day every January 25th. Now, 20th Chief Election Commissioner is Nazim Zaidi, and he will be in that post till July 2017. Please remember, Election Commission, constitutional body, will have one Chief Election Commissioner and 2 election commissioners, and they will be having the status of Judge of Supreme Court. And the other important aspect is the retirement age is either 65 years or 6 years after holding that post, whichever is earlier. I would like to tell you once again, the tenure of the Chief Election Commissioner is either 6 years or attaining 65 years of age, whichever is earlier. Please look into the next one. Rajaji Tiger Reserve was notified recently over an area of 1075 square kilometers, and the state here is Uttarakhand. I would like to tell you one more aspect. Corbett National Park is also in Uttarakhand. Please don't forget, Corbett National Park is in Uttarakhand, and now Rajaji Tiger Reserve was notified recently to protect the population of tigers, and this is situated in Uttarakhand. Look into the next one. Unfortunate incident. Keith Keshri. We have not forgotten this tragic death of Phil Hughes of Australia. Now it is the turn of Keith Keshri, young boy who lost his life, and he belongs to West Bengal. He played in the under-19 tournaments also, and he was in the field for that particular match as the 12th player, and unfortunately he lost his life, and he is Keith Keshri, and he is from West Bengal. Look into the next. Name the first woman in the world to climb Mount Everest 2 times in a week. 2 times in a week. The first woman to climb is Churim Sherpa. Please don't forget, Churim Sherpa is the woman in the world to climb Mount Everest 2 times in a week. Please look into the next one. Recently, a video appeared showing the beheading of 30 Ethiopian Christians. These incidents are taking place quite often. Ethiopian Christians. These Christians are mostly in the sub-Saharan African region, mostly in Ethiopia. This sect of Ethiopian Christians originated in the 1st century AD, and unfortunately recently 30 Ethiopian Christians were beheaded by ISIS. The country here is Libya. Right? Look into the next one. Name the country where violence erupted against immigrants from various countries including Zimbabwe, Somalia, Ethiopia. What is immigrant? Meaning of immigrant? If you are staying in United States of America, you are immigrant as far as United States is concerned. You are emigrant, India is concerned. That means when you are going from India to United States of America, your status will be emigrant when India is concerned, immigrant when United States is concerned. Here, several persons from Zimbabwe, Somalia, Ethiopia are staying in South Africa, and recently there was violence against these people. Unfortunate incident. It is spreading to several parts of South Africa now. The answer here is South Africa. Please look into the next one. Time magazine declared Narendra Modi among the 100 most influential people in the world. We all very well know Narendra Modi was among the 100 most influential people in the world. In this context, Barack Obama wrote the profile of Indian Prime Minister, praising him as reformer-in-chief. In this connection, Barack Obama wrote the profile of Indian Prime Minister, praising him as reformer-in-chief. Look into the next one. Name the city. Very unfortunate incident where St. Mary's Church was vandalized recently. Answer here is Agra. Recently a church was vandalized in Agra city. Very unfortunate incident. Look into the next one. For 2014-15, extended up to 30 June 2015, Government of India is giving interest subvention of, the answer here is 2% on agriculture loans. Government of India is giving interest subvention. What is interest subvention? Banks are not supposed to give loans below base rate. But for agriculture, banks will give loans at rates lesser than base rate. But banks will get this gap, that is known as interest subvention. Farmers are getting loans at 7% rate of interest, 7% rate of interest, up to 3 lakhs per farmer, and 2% interest will be paid by Government of India to banks, that is known as interest subvention. Right? Here the interest subvention on agriculture loans for the year 2014-15 is 2%, and this is extended up to June 2015. Look into the next one. How many states have border with the newly created Telangana state? We all very well know Telangana state is a newly created 29th state in the country, and 4 states have border with the Telangana state. Towards north, Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra, and towards west it is Karnataka, and most of its border is with Andhra Pradesh. It has got 4 state borders: Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Look into the last question of this week. For identification of beneficiaries under Food Security Act 2013, the deadline was extended up to September 30, 2015 is the answer. Food Security Act for giving subsidized food grains to the citizens of this country was passed in the year 2013, and so far only 11 states implemented. And for identification of the beneficiaries, further time is extended up to 30 September 2015. Recently, Government of India extended the deadline by another 6 months up to September 30, 2015. With this, let us conclude this week's question and answer session. Have a nice day. Thank you.